Oh man, this game is exciting. Although I'm kind of getting tired of playing this blue guy. All he does is fall off cliffs. Oh, that reminds me. I actually got a letter from Sega today. I wonder what it is. It's probably that thing I ordered. You know, that thing. Everybody knows about the thing. You know about the thing too. If you don't know about the thing, then I guess that just means you're stupid. Alright, here we go. Just looking in here and, what the... It's a letter, it's a flyer for Sonic Origins Plus. Sega's marketing has been getting very weird lately. Let's see here. Sonic Origins Plus, physical edition for the game? Ooh, nice. I was wondering when the game was going to get that. Ooh, playable Amy in all the games, and Knuckle playable in CD. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. And a collection of Game Gear titles. I would have preferred the Master System versions, but hey, for a free update for the game, that's actually pretty cool, you know? Just a nice little free content update, kind of like they're doing for this game. To celebrate Sonic's birthday. That's pretty cool. I really hope there isn't anything written on the back of this paper that would ruin this joyous moment. $10! Hey everyone, it's that time again where I talk about video games and you pretend to care. So, what are we talking about today? Sonic Origins Plus. Yeah, I know, we're talking about Sonic Origins again, but hey, this will be the last time, I promise. I just thought Sonic Origins Plus was worth the re-review. If you've watched any of my recent streams, you would have actually known that I wasn't planning on buying or reviewing Sonic Origins Plus. That was mainly because I felt the quality of the product they were providing wasn't worth the asking price. That was until I realized I actually had some spare Nintendo Gold points just laying around in my eShop collecting dust, so I ended up grabbing Sonic Origins Plus for like $3. Talk about a deal. For this video, I played through most of Sonic 1, 2, and 3 as Amy, and I played through all of Sonic CD as Knuckles. And of course, I gave all the Game Gear games a try. So, is Sonic Origins Plus worth the price of admission? Let's find out. Sonic Origins Plus. How dare you steal Sonic Mania Plus's title, you hack! Okay, that was a joke. I know it's supposed to be a nod to Sonic Mania. Something I actually didn't realize when writing the intro to this video was that the Sonic Origins Plus expansion actually gives you the other two previous DLC. So I guess that's cool. Again, I felt like the previous DLC for Origins wasn't even worth the money, so getting it for free just kinda feels right, unless like a neat bonus. The Amy and Knuckles models are very clearly being repurposed from Superstars, much like how the Sonic, Tails, and Eggman models were repurposed from Generations. I'm so happy Superstars is bringing some life into 3D Classic Sonic because I was never a fan of how he looked in Generations and Forces. I also really disliked how Classic Eggman looked in Generations. He looked so unfinished compared to everyone else. Naoto Oshima coming back to the series was such a godsend. Speaking of Amy and Knuckles, let's talk about them since they are clearly the selling points of this expansion, much like how Mighty and Ray were in Sonic Mania Plus, which by the way should be in this game also, pretty please. As I mentioned earlier, I played through most of Sonic 1, 2, and some 3 as Amy, and reserved my CD playthrough for Knuckles, so let's talk about Amy first. I gotta say, whoever did the sprite work for Amy and Origins Plus did a phenomenal job. Her sprite is really cute, and all of her animations match her personality very well. She looks like she's lost and way in over her head, but is determined to push forward. Honestly, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I vastly have always preferred her classic look to her modern style. Honestly, I wish they stuck with this color palette for her. It's way more striking than the red and pink one she has now. Amy feels pretty good to control. She moves faster than Knuckles, but is slower than Sonic or Tails. And she overall feels much lighter than the rest of the cast. Amy can jump on enemies to defeat them, but her primary form of defense is her iconic Pico Pico hammer. You activate it in two ways. The first way is by pressing the jump button twice, acting like the insta-shield from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But I swear you actually get a little bit of a height and speed boost when you bounce off enemies with it. And the second way is by holding the jump button. When you do this, you activate a sort of beatdown mode. Instead of a drop dash, Amy will use her hammer in a very aggressive manner for a few seconds while automatically running forward. She makes a nice addition to the rest of the cast. She never felt out of place in any of the games I played with her in, almost as if she was always meant to be here from the start. I also like her level and victory pose in 3 and Knuckles. Moving on to the one who doesn't chuckle, it's Knuckles in Sonic CD. I've gone on record in the past to proclaim that I am not a fan of Sonic CD's level design, which is a shame, because that was really the only thing I disliked about Sonic CD. The overall vibes of the game itself were something I really connected with. I know, it's been said so many times by now, but I mean, the music at Sonic CD just kicks ass. Listen to this bangin' tune. This song rocks!
All jokes aside though, my main problem with CD's level design was that it was meant to be played much more methodically than any of the other classic games, and with a character like Sonic, it was just so hard to actually properly explore, I felt, just due to how unruly CD's level design actually is when paired with Sonic at his top speed. But playing through CD as Knuckles, I think I actually really like Sonic CD now.
Hey look, the end times are here.
Sonic CD feels built for Knuckles. He's a more slow and methodical character, built for exploration. So, the perfect character to be in the game designed like Sonic CD. Actually being able to navigate Sonic CD's level design much more comfortably has really given me a better appreciation for just the type of game CD wanted to be. I was actually able to locate the generators in the past way more confidently. Getting enough rings to get the time stones doesn't feel like a hassle, just actually being able to time travel in general feels much more manageable. I should also mention that Knuckles has had paths added to CD specifically for him, which is freaking awesome.
Before I move on to the Game Gear stuff, I just want to address some grievances I have with this package because, just like everything with Sonic Origins, there's always an unfortunate catch.
First of all, most of the new glitches introduced in Origins haven't been patched out as far as my knowledge goes, but they did patch out roll locking in Sonic 1 and 2, and they did fix Tails' AI in Sonic 2, so that's appreciated. Sonic CD still doesn't have any voice lines, which I still don't know how they managed to remove them in the first place. The game also still lacks customizability. You still can't play with lies in 16:9 mode, you can't turn off the bilinear filter in the collection, there's no CRT mode. What's worse is that Origins Plus just adds to the list of things it's lacking. Partner pairing options basically don't exist. You can't play with Sonic with Amy, or Knuckles with Amy, or Sonic with Knuckles. You can only play with one character plus Tails, which seems like a weird oversight. They had to program these characters to be playable options with Tails, but they never stopped to consider just allowing players to pair anyone up with anyone else. Again, at the end of the day, these things being missing don't really make these games any less fun to play, but the options would have definitely been appreciated. Just because something being missing doesn't affect the game in a negative way, doesn't mean its inclusion wouldn't make the game that much better, you know what I mean?
Overall, while Amy and Knuckles do add some more things to enjoy and experience across these games, I don't think they're worth the $10 by themselves. I mean, compare this to Sonic Mania Plus, which was only $5, included 2 characters, an entire new game mode, and a revamped menu. It just feels like the rest of Sonic Origins. Pretty good, but still could have done more. But hey, we're not done yet. I mean, we still got the Game Gear games to look at. Maybe they'll justify the $50 a lot of you paid for this. Yeah. Let that sink in. Some of you paid $50 for this in total. Some people paid as more as $55. I think my heart stopped.
I'm sure glad we've got yet another way to play the Game Gear versions of these games. Look, the Game Gear versions aren't terrible, they're completely playable, but come on, the Master System versions are just so much better. It's a lot harder to see in the Game Gear ports due to screen crunch. The Master System, being an actual home console, displayed these games in the intended resolution size and actually ran half decently. I mean, when was the last time we actually got to experience the Master System versions in any official capacity? I'm pretty sure it was all the way back on the Wii. And the Game Gear games and Origins are all emulated. These things aren't actually ports. Look, I'm not against companies using emulators to make older games playable on modern hardware, alright? I think it's perfectly fine in most cases, but Origins pitches itself as the premium classic Sonic experience, the one place to play these games in the best way possible. They even charge a near premium price for this collection if you count the additional price for the Plus expansion. It's not even subtle that these are emulated. The games slow down all the time, and I highly doubt my Switch can't run a Game Gear game. And if we're emulating anyways, why are we using the Game Gear versions then? The sky's the limit when we're emulating. You could just emulate the Master System versions of these games. Heck, even better, just include both versions. That way, people who prefer the Game Gear versions, for some reason, aren't left out. Look, it's not like these are bad games. Well, I mean, some of them are, even for their era. But again, these are just straight up emulated Game Gear games and nothing more. They perform exactly how they did on Game Gear, so poorly, and there are no bells and whistles here. They didn't even add the drop dash in. They've been slapping the drop dash into every emulated version of Sonic 1 and 2 since Mania, but they can't be bothered to put it in here. Plus, the sound is actually emulating incorrectly. Instead of using the correct mono channel, the emulator is replicating the headphone channel that the Game Gear used, which for some reason doubled the audio, making it very echoey.
Again, it's not like these games are bad by any means. I just feel like they could have done more. Imagine if every game in this collection supported 16:9. That would be sick as hell, because they would actually have to rework the Game Gear games to be compatible in 16:9. So, is Sonic Origins worth the additional $10? If you're asking me, Not really, no. Your mileage will vary with this expansion. Did you already love Sonic Origins? Then you won't be too bothered forking over the additional $10. Were you indifferent towards Sonic Origins, or hell, even disgusted by it? Then steer clear of this expansion. This is not gonna change your mind on Sonic Origins. They still haven't fixed the majority of the bugs yet, and again, I can't justify the price. Anyways, thank you all for watching this review of Sonic Origins Plus. Next video, I'll be reviewing Sonic Origins. I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, thank you everyone so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see you in the next review, but until then, have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye!